So in this video we're going to be talking about how to build your left brain power by using analogs. And analogs are some sort of exercises involving some sort of anagrams, and it gets really interesting. We're starting right now. Hey, this is Advait. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how you can build your memory, build your brain by uncovering fascinating facts and clear academic concepts, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. So this is part one of a big series on how to build your left brain power, and I'll link to the playlist in the description as well as at the end of this video. So as videos keep coming on and I'll add it to the playlist, you can watch them all. So if you haven't subscribed, definitely should so that you don't miss this playlist. So now let's jump over to the presentation that I have prepared. So now let us look at how to build our left brain power part 1, that is analogs. We'll dive into analogs in depth in a moment. But before I go on, I'd like to tell you a fact that most people don't know. Your left brain is a different brain. It is not one part of the brain, it is another brain, as we have two separate brains. What I mean by that is that your brain is not divided into two parts. I should say that the brain is made of two parts, that is left brain and right brain. A brain is a single unit which consists of two separate constituent units, that is the left brain and the right brain. If you know what the left brain and the right brain are for, then let me know down in the comments below. Like left brain is for language, for example. I don't know if it's true. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd surely heart it. So let's go on and study in depth on what are analogs. So analogs involve anagrams, which we must rearrange to form real English words. In an analog, we write answers both horizontally as well as vertically, horizontally, okay, in a grid of letters intersecting with other lines. So it might be a bit confusing. I'll show you one example, an incomplete example, don't worry. It is one of the easiest puzzles that you can solve to build your left brain power. So that is why this is part 1, and I would like you to watch it progressively. Part 1, part 2, and so on and so forth. Remember that there are numbers associated to each word. It's just like crosswords. In crosswords, you have seen number 1 written in the grid, and in the hints down below there will be number 1 and the clue will be written. And if you figure out what the word is, then you have to write it at the specific where number 1 is marked in the grids. So it is somewhat similar, but what you have to do there is that you have some sort of a rectangle, and there will be one marked, and there will be a horizontal space and a vertical space. So if you find the word for 1, then you have to write the word horizontally as well as vertically at the number 1 position. So I'll show you what is this. There will be a number grid for each word. I'll show you what that is. So let us look at an incomplete example. So imagine that at the place of T in the leftmost side, there is number 1. And in number 1 clue, you are being given something, a clue for the letter through. So if you figure out what the 1 denotes or what the clue denotes, you have to write it both horizontally as well as vertically. If you can see, through is written horizontally as well as vertically. Similar goes to words in the rightmost side and the bottommost side. So it will be like sort of an association. Words is actually number 5th position, so words is going over here, and 5th position from the vertical side, words is getting occupied. So now let us look at one example that I'll solve for you, the analog 1. So let's look at that. So here is the sort of anagrams that is below here, right over here. Sway, nway, tower, serve, turn, etc., so on and so forth. Now actually I forgot to mention that each anagram has a clue. So the clues, number 1 is synonym of scrape and safe house, avoid anything, poems, and welcoming signs. So now let us look at number 1, which is sway, and the clue for it is scrape. So I think the answer would be shave. So S H A V and E. Now we have written it horizontally, we have to write it vertically as well. S H A V E. So the first part is over. Sorry. First part is over. Now let us look at safe house, and it's HAV, heaven. So heaven is a word. So HAVEN. Forgive me for my handwriting. HAVEN. So we have completed number 2 as well, and number 1 as well. So now let us look at number 3. Avoid anything. Avoid anything. AVERT. Avert. Yeah, avert is a good word for avoiding anything. So avert. So you avert something, and you need some sort of English vocabulary also, a little basic. And yeah, that's over. So we are done with number 3 as well. 1 second. We are done with number 3. Now for number 4 is poems. And as you can notice, VER is done. SE, that's the only option there. Verse means poems, poetry. So yep, done. So 5th one is welcoming signs, and obviously R is the only word left. Enter. So this is how a complete analog looks like. I have shown you an incomplete analog. This is the complete analog, and I've solved it for you. So now you might have an idea of how to solve analogs. Now let us solve 3 analogs, and what I would request you is to pause the video after seeing the analog and solve it, and then rectify it by again playing the video. So now let's get on. Analog 2. So we have so many stuffs going on here, and we have the anagrams on the left and the clues on the right. So clues are temporary stay. GB nationality is nothing but nationality in Great Britain. GB means Great Britain. Next is insane or mad, religious faith, and a herb. So pause the video right now and try solving this analog. So I hope you have solved the analog and came up with the answer. Let us rectify it. So temporary stay means nothing but visit. Correct? STIVI. Yes, visit. True. Absolutely. Fantastico. So visit is the correct word, and don't forget to write it vertically, or else it will be incomplete. Next is Ishir. Okay, GB nationality, Great Britain nationality, and nationality in Great Britain island. So Irish is a word. Yep, Irish is damn correct. It's also Celtic nationality. I could have given this clue like that also. Anyways, so Irish. ISH. Okay, so now SILYL, and it's insane. SI is already done, as you can see over here and over here. So what is left is LLY. Obviously, silly. Silly means insane or mad, and perfectly matches. Next is religious faith. ISL is done, and AM is left. Islam is a religious faith. You got the answer. It actually pretty much resembles a crossword itself, but the one speciality is that you have to write it both horizontally and vertically, so that all of the words get completed and gets fitted into the single grid. And obviously then is the herb. Obviously E is the only one left, and that is thyme. Thyme is a herb. So we have another completed analog. I hope you rectified the answers. Now let's look at the third analog. Okay, so now let's look at analog 2 or analog 3. So here's the analog grid, and we have anagrams, 5 anagrams, and the clues for the anagrams is right over here. So Argentine silver or river, lawful, open-mouthed, pig-like animal, watchful. Pause the video right now and solve the analog. So I hope you gave the answers to the analog. Let's rectify it. Argentine silver or river. There's a river called Plata, and an Argentine silver is known as Plata. Actually, it's general knowledge. I didn't know that. Okay, so after I solved this analog, I came to know. So Plata is the word. Okay, next is GALLE, and it's lawful. LEGAL. It's correct. It's matching. It's legal. So the answer to this is legal. Let's fill in the boxes first. Now the third one is APAGE and open mouth. AGAPE, agap, whatever. I'm bad in English. Okay, agap, and that's the word for open mouth. Let's fill in the spaces. Fill in the. Okay, so next is pig-like animal. TAP is already over. Tapir. Yeah, that's an animal. I know that. And next is nothing but watchful alert. Dun. So analog 3 is also over. I hope you rectified your answers and now at least you would have got it correct. Now let's look at one final analog. Now let us look at analog 4. Let's get on. This is the final analog for today. So here is the analog grid and where we have the anagrams here: below, shale, abyss, rosy, hewer. We have clues over here. So now pause the video again, solve this analog with your best efforts. I hope you solve the analog and let's rectify the answers. So first is pushed aside or a part of a body. So okay, so the answer to this is elbow. It's pretty simple. Pushing aside means elbowing part of your body, and elbow is obviously a part of your body. No doubt in that. So next is shale and restraining device. So it starts with L, as we can see at number 2. So L is, if we eliminate L is leash. Leash is the correct word. So LEASH, dog leashes. That's what it is. So LEASH. Again, pardon my handwriting. Let's look at the third. Count by his last name. Basie. Yeah, that's the correct word. Basie. Okay. Basie. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Yeah, correct. So now fourth is willow. Willow, I'm not sure. Okay. So the fifth one is what place, and WHE is already done. RE is left. Where? So simple. Where? What place? Where? So yeah, that's correct. Okay, so actually the willow is osier. Osier is sort of a willow. I didn't know that. It's general knowledge. So you need to know some sort of general knowledge so that you can apply such analogs. And yeah, so if you have solved these analogs, here's one challenge for you. If you've mastered the art of solving analogs, try creating one and composing an analog. That is even more tricky. It is even more challenging. And honestly, I've not created any of these analogs. I've just borrowed it from a book, and it's a pretty good book. Okay, if you master that analog as well, the left brain power has certainly grown. If you master that as well, if you master that creating analog, composing analogs, and you can compose successful analogs, then your left brain power is at its optimum level. It has surpassed level 1. Congratulations. Felicitations apart. As I promised, I have linked to you the playlist of the how to build your left brain power on the screen right now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that as well. Make sure you watch all the videos in the playlist. That will definitely help you build your left brain. I can guarantee you that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.